That's the throwback segment of your favorite sport program, and we took you to Asaba, the 21st National Sport Festival. Interesting moments, and there's still so much you've missed if you're not there or you've not watched Plot Sport. But don't worry, subsequent edition of the program, you get also other throwbacks. We'll take you to sport events like you never have seen before. Yes, we'll go from throwback, we'll go to the other topic of today. That's talking about table tennis, where we have the chairman of Osun State Table Tennis Association talking about Ayodeji Alabi. It's good to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yet, you are one of those that have done so well for table tennis in the country. We can mention a few names. The late Molade Okoya, who has the Asojuoba Table Tennis. In Abuja, we have Dr. Ajuwon, who has the Aso Table Tennis Championship, and nothing so much more again than you. That's talking about your own table tennis championship in memory, perhaps, of your late parent. You've done, and you. What's the motivation behind putting your own personal resources for table tennis?
I think I love the game. I love the game so much. When I was young, I played the game. I mean, starting from the street corner until playing for Coca-Cola and 7-Up in those days. So I love the game. I want to see the game grow. And I want to create an impact so that the game can grow. Because apart from soccer, which we call football, the other game that is most popular is the table tennis.
Okay, now, a lot of people say what we see outside. When it comes to Nigeria, we have, when it comes to Africa rather, we have Nigeria and Egypt. Auna Kodri, Fatima Bello, we have Jide also there. Before in the past, we have Bose Kafo, Funke Oshinaike, Shegun Toriola. Before those ones, we have many, Musa Tonda and the rest. Okay. But we look at it now that what we see Auna Kodri doing, some said it does not show a true reflection of the development of table tennis in Nigeria. That means that other more Auna Kodris, but front in Africa, front in the world is only Auna Kodri. Why the gap? Why are we not having 10 Auna Kodris at the same time, 10 Funke Oshinaike at the same time, 10 Jide at the same time, Mati Taiwo? Why not at the same time?
Yeah, we're losing grip. We're losing grip on the game of table tennis. You know, in those days, we have the Cadbury that are sponsoring the game. We have 7-Up, we have Coca-Cola, we have banks sponsoring games. Nowadays, you hardly see that. So that people are retrenching from the game. They are not having so much interest in the game. That is why we are coming in now, because we want to bring the game back. We want to bring people, because you see, I don't know, Babatunde Obesoya, YDF, all those guys, they did their best. They tried, but we are not seeing people coming up any longer. But now we want to create, because Aruna Quadri is already going to his prime in game. He's still playing. I think so far right now he's still number 12 in the world. We want to create more of that, because if you know, the whole world knows that table tennis is also associated with Nigeria.
So now, I also want to ask this. Now, we also know that, because I also have so much reports and publications and articles on table tennis. We know sometimes these people are divided by states. Now, we know that in Asojuoba table tennis, Lagos State, which is a Lagos State table tennis event, has brought so many products of table tennis representing Nigeria. We also have Delta State, their own players, River State. Are you saying with this tournament, we should be having notable players from Osun State?
Oh, of course. Of course. See, we've been developing since I built the table tennis hall in Osogbo, inside the stadium. We've seen a lot of improvement in the game of table tennis from Osun. We've seen development. We've seen people. I can assure you right now, even the tournament that I'm hosting right now, I can tell you that one of the finalist, if not the champion, might come from Osun State.
And those are products of the first edition, the second edition of this tournament.
Of course, yes.
Okay, now
you see, the first edition was it's just like we're testing the game, because we only invited 6 states at that time. But the second edition, we had 17 states. Now at the third edition, we have the whole of the federation, which is the 36 states plus the federal FCT. So that, yes, we've been developing the game in Osun.
So what?
And that's the more reason that we're looking for the champion to come from Osun.
Okay, now at the end of the day, because most times when competition like this take place, everybody go to their respective states. What do you think will continue happening in Osun State, the old state, for 3 times in a row? What do you think will continue? What happened to the players who put on the jerseys to be part of this? How are you going to groom them to ensure they are up to the national level?
Yeah, that's why we said. I said what we have in Osun, the new stadium that we built in Osun right now. We have a coach. We have an in coach that is coaching everybody day by day. And we have the support of the government too, that is providing some kind of incentives for people to be part of the game. So that most of the people that are playing now are employed by the government. Okay. So they're part of the government ad hoc staff. So that they're there 24 hours. I mean, most of the time during the day to play the game of table tennis.
Okay, well said. Now let's leave Osun State right now. We'll come back to the tournament that is going on right now and look at Nigeria as a whole. What are the things that needs to be done to be like the teams in the countries like China, Japan, who has won many Olympics? I know of a record and report that the former commissioner of sport in Lagos State, Eniton Shodi, who is also holding a post in the continent in regards to table tennis, there was a time he took some certain players to China. We still have products of some of these players there. But what are you looking at as a whole that the states that's talking about Nigeria now, that Nigeria needs to be up there in table tennis?
They need to support. They need to support these people that are playing the game. You see, most of the focus that we have in the country is on soccer, which is football. We have to redirect our sponsorship. We have to redirect our commitment to this kind of game too, which is table tennis. Because table tennis is one of the popular games, even in the world, especially in some other African countries. So we want the government to do more for this game so that the game can be more popular.
We know that there's a difference in terms of the men and the female table tennis. It's so much focus, so much struggle, so much involvement of the male table tennis. But there's difference in the female table tennis. And a lot of administrations are trying to do so well to make sure that the female table tennis is, the male table tennis is not, the female table tennis rather, is also in the same level with the male table tennis. Obviously, there's not so much about the female table tennis in Nigeria. It's only so much about the male table tennis. When we want to go to events, we see more male representing Nigeria in international events than female. Even when you come back home, there are more male table tennis players, very popular. Because now, if you mention Funke Oshinaike, we'll be mentioning the likes of Maba, the lady we just saw earlier on the screen. We'll be mentioning her name, that's Effiong, and others. But in the male, you can mention 4 at a whole. What do you think will solve that issue whereby the difference between the female table tennis players and the male will almost be at par?
You see, what we are trying to do now, even with this tournament that we are hosting, the first year there was a gap that we created, but quickly before the end of the game, my wife corrected me saying, you know what, we can now allocate different kind of cost, which is money, to the male and the female. We have to make it equal gender game. So that the second year, what we did was we attracted more female. The F-Young, every one of them came to the game because we gave the same amount of money to both the male and the female players. And that's what we should continue to do. Because you see, when you are given 200,000, 400,000 difference for between a male and a female, you're not going to see a whole lot of female coming to the game. But now that we've made it that every game that we're playing, the pulse is the same. So it's attracting more female now than before.
Okay.
A whole lot of female are getting more into the game than it used to be before.
Okay, lastly, because of our time, just tell us what's happening at the tournament right now in Osun, the National Table Tennis tournament that you are sponsoring and organizing. Tell us.
Yeah, it's a Michael and Felicia Memorial Table Tennis Tournament.
Okay.
In memory of my father and mother. Because you see, what my brothers and my siblings decided to do is, instead of throwing a party every time, we want to create a legacy that it will be there forever. So that what we are doing presently in Osun, we have the whole of the 36 states and the FCT, like I said, about 500 players are already there right now playing the game. If you go to the hall right now, believe me, the excitement is right there. Okay. You will see screaming, yelling, shouting. I mean, over this game, which is very interesting.
Yes, thank you
the
very
game is
much.
Right there.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being part of the program. Before the tournament ends on, so we're still going to talk about that particular event. Thank you, Mr. Ayodeji Alabi, for being part of today's show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.